Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Steph and this is Ordinary Plant Girl. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video, and if you are returning, thank you so much for spending more of your time with me. I have no idea what we're doing today. None. I have no rhyme or reason to any... Hold that thought. There we go. I have no rhyme or reason to anything that's going to happen today. And do you know why? It's because there is so much to do that I honestly don't know where to start. I have no idea. I can say that I have some neglected plants that need to be taken care of. I have got some plants that I need to take out of Coco coir and put into my soil mix. I have got some cleanup to do behind me as well, just to be able to use that space. I've got plants that I am going to chop down and restart. So there's just a lot to do. Oh, Hoya care. I've got so much Hoya care that needs to be done. Hoya and succulents in general. So there are two things though that I definitely want to do today. Oh, I've got some pole extensions I have to do too. See, there's just a lot going on here right now. So I know that one of the things that I definitely want to do is take care of my neglected plants. So something that I did do that I did not film was I repotted my Monstera subpinnata. So let me show you her. Oh. So here she is on a much bigger stake now, but I have put her, I'm gonna hit the ceiling, in, I think it's an 8-inch. Yeah, it's an 8-inch pot. She is so much happier now, constantly throwing off new growth. I am going to have to try and pull this stem very gently back against the stake. I did think about cutting down here or even air layering. And I don't know, it's quirky. I love it so much the way it is already that I really didn't want to change anything. And this plant is so much happier now than it was that I think that leaving it was probably the best thing, especially since I have tried to propagate this plant and it's never gone well. So I just love it. I love this plant so much. Okay, so that was a neglected plant that I took care of. I'm trying to see if, I don't really think I have anything neglected in this room because I spend so much time in here between work and, you know, editing and stuff like that, that I'm always in here, so I'm looking at these. My philodendron Dean McDowell also needs to be taken care of, except I think it's pushing out a new leaf, so I don't really know if I want to mess with that one today, so that one might have to wait. But one of the reasons why I am swapping, like repotting some of these plants, some of them might not be ready for it, but recently Alice from You Don't Even Grow Here, she's been talking continuously at this point about the damage of having your plants in unbuffered Coco coir. And after looking into it, I actually went to Amazon because that's where I got my Coco coir from like 3 years ago. And I still have like a big tub of it left. I went back to Amazon, I looked up the brand, and now they actually have buffered Coco coir alongside the Coco coir that I had bought. So I'm assuming, because it didn't actually say anywhere there that I noticed, I'm assuming that what I had was not buffered. And I think that, honestly, that is why a lot of my plants just weren't growing. I had so many plants that were classified as easy growers that just weren't doing anything. You would have seen some of them too, where it's like things just didn't work. I cut back so many of my crawlers, my Mame Silver Cloud, my Pastazanum, which I ended up losing in the end, my Pastazanum crossed with a Ploumanii as well, my Gloriosums, not these ones, because these ones, there's no coco coir in the mix for those that I think of. But what I noticed after watching her videos and seeing what she was talking about, I think I even commented on her video that I had never really noticed, but that is possibly why some of my plants didn't do so well, because I didn't know about the buffering process or anything like that. Which would absolutely make so much sense, especially with my Philodendron Majestic. That was another one that I kind of looked at and was like, I wonder if that's the problem, because there was a point when I was using a coco coir, makes no potting soil whatsoever. And then a few months ago, I started putting potting soil into the mix with, I think I was doing 1 part potting soil, 1 part coco coir, and then like for my anthuriums and stuff like that, anyway, like 2 parts my anthurium mix, which is just all the chunkies mixed into one thing. But what I noticed though is that those plants started to do a little bit better, but when I changed my anthuriums specifically into a tree fern soil mix, the anthuriums took off. And that's a good thing, but I don't actually think I used a lot of coco coir with my anthuriums. I think I was a little bit more careful with them than I was with my anything else. After seeing that, I completely removed the coco coir from my mix. So now I just use a simple potting soil, perlite, and orchid bark mix. That's it. I still try to make it on the chunkier side for the philodendrons and stuff, so it's not like too dense. But now what I've found is that they love it. I have seen so much more root growth. And this isn't over just a season. Like this isn't just me talking about, you know, yes, I've switched up my lighting and stuff like that, which has helped. But some of the plants that I've had in the exact same areas or positions that were in coco coir or propagations that I took, I had a really hard time with propagations after I put them in a coco coir mix. I didn't really put 2 and 2 together, but they are doing so well now, so well. And I mean, this is, I can't even, it just blows my mind. I can't even say how much. Like I've had so much trouble growing the philodendron micans. My micans was in a coco coir mix. So just from seeing the difference myself, and for those plants that I do have like in a coco coir potting soil mix as well, those ones are still doing better for sure. They're still growing. It's taking them longer kind of to get through the process, I think. But I am seeing such happy root growth that is going on, and that has just completely inspired me to switch them out. Now here's the thing. I still have, like I said, I still have a giant tub of coco coir, and I don't know what to do with it. I mean, I don't want to waste it, but I can say that I'm just not going to use it anymore. So maybe I'll just put it in my garden and mix it in there, one of my garden beds, mixed in with natural dirt. Maybe it'll, I don't know, maybe it'll do something better. But yeah, so that is just something that I'm doing. I'm also doing a lot more with pon. A lot more with pon, and specifically Crystal Star Nursery's Mineral Magic has been an amazing experience. Like I have worked with other ponds, which sure, you know, they've done their thing, but not to the extent that this has. Like going back to the micans. So I chopped up my micans because I was so upset with just the fact that it kept getting thrips and it didn't want to grow, that I chopped it up. And I put a piece in my soil mix. Roots are going absolutely crazy, and it's probably only been in there about a week. But when I put the cuttings in the Mineral Magic, within days I saw root growth on an extreme level. So maybe I will show you those later, but yeah, I mean, now I'm worried about things like my alocasias. I had my Micheletiana is in a coco coir mix and it has not been doing very well. It has not sized up. It's just, what I've noticed is that everything is just staying small because the roots aren't growing, so nothing is sizing up. So that's another one that I want to do. I am just rambling on about this, but I am so amazed at the results of that I had to share it with you. So I really do want to get a bunch of stuff out of coco coir. The problem is not remembering what I have left in it. Now my question is, where do I start? I don't know where to start. I think what I will do is I'll start with I'm gonna start with cleaning up this table because I'm gonna need it. And then we're just kind of gonna pick and choose as we go along. Okay, so I didn't clean this off overly because I am going to be using the space. I'm going to need to clean it again, but I did just get rid of some of the other stuff, which technically I'm throwing on the floor because I'll just sweep it up later. But you might have seen me show you, this is my Mag Ace of Spades, and this is the newest leaf on it. And I'm so in love with this plant, but as you can see, it is leaning, and it might not be root bound, but it does have roots coming out of the bottom. So that's something else I'm gonna have to figure out. I'm gonna end up breaking that one root that's branched off, and I feel really bad about it. So I just don't know. I'm gonna put it in something bigger, but I won't do that right now. I did water this the other day too, and it is super dry. So that is on the docket, I guess, to be taken care of. One of the things that I wanted to show you guys though, that I noticed when I came over here was, let me just move this. No, don't stick to things. Okay. So this is my anthurium papillomenum, and it is giving me its first leaf in my care. And I am so excited about this. You have no idea. If you saw the video where I potted this one up, this came from Tropicals Plants, care of Pete, my plant friend in the US. He sent me a bunch of plants from there, and I planted this one just a little bit low because I know as it grows taller, then I can kind of just add soil to it as long as the roots allow that. And you see that root right there? That is new. It's very happy in the tree fern soil mix that I have it in. So that is just my go-to for my anthuriums. I do have some that are in pon. So if I got seedlings, or I got like multiple seedlings, then what I tend to do is I'll put one in tree fern soil and I'll put the other one in pon. And now that I have the Crystal Star Nursery Mineral Magic, I can't wait to see what those guys are going to do. Oh, and over here from last week's last week's video, I didn't want to lose my micans again, if you saw that one. But this is my Philodendron squamiferum, and this leaf has now popped and it is starting to unfurl. It still looks pretty juvenile, but I'll wait until it unfurls all the way. But there is also another leaf here that has become more prominent since. So this one is growing too. So they're very, very happy. And I'm glad for that. And the micans was a disaster. But it does look like I do have, was this? Okay, so this was one plant, or it was one vine that I put in here. And apparently it grew an offshoot that is not hooked into the moss, but is growing aerial roots. So while I'm here, I did figure that I would kind of start with the moss poles because they are just going to be the easiest at this moment. So you can see here that there is no moss here for the next node, and then I'm going to tuck this vine in there too. And then I don't have to extend this one yet, but I do need to add moss, and I've got moss that I have cleaned in the bathroom. I was draining it. So okay, so let's just start there then, and all I have to do is unhook this one. What poles am I using actually for this? Oh, this is just a thickly pole. That's right. I decided that I wanted to try the thickly poles. So most of the time I get my moss poles from North Shore Tropicals. Still love them. I'm actually waiting for a new order of them to show up. Should be here tomorrow or Thursday. So I am just waiting for those ones. And then I've got some other things that I ordered from them too. And you know, coincidentally, or not even coincidentally, I ordered no plants this time. Are you proud of me? No plants this time. What did I do with my leaf thing? I had something I was throwing. Okay, well, you're just gonna go over here. Okay, I was not prepared. Wasn't sure I was gonna start here. Need to go get my moss. I will be back in just a second. Okay, I'm really gonna have to deal with this Ace of Spades because it's gonna bug me. It's gonna drive me nuts because he needs help. He needs help. But we're here right now for the micans. So, and I was saying at some point, not in this video, but I was talking about how for some reason I can't grow a trailing micans. I can't. I don't know why. It doesn't work. Might work now that I've switched the mixes and I've got one in pon and one in my new soil mix, but putting it on a pole though, it's obviously very happy. I mean, it branched off and gave me another offshoot, so it does seem to be very happy. The leaves are upsizing, not a whole lot, but they're definitely getting bigger compared to these ones down here at the bottom. So we'll see. This is a leaf that is still hardening off, actually. I think it has a little bit of damage because I dropped it on the floor, but you know, stuff happens. Stuff happens. Okay, so I can see some exposed roots there, aerial roots that are growing. Oh, you are sopping wet. You are a sopping wet mess. So with my moss, what I did, I don't boil it in a pot on the stove, but I do boil hot water, soak it all, and then use hydrogen peroxide in there just to clean it up a little bit more. Oh, I probably should have opened this one. And one of the reasons that I use the hydrogen peroxide as well is I got a really crappy batch of moss at one point. It was so bad. Like it even got moldy. I can't do that. I'm too scared. I'm going to break that tip off. So we're just going to do it the old fashioned way. Yeah, I got so, it was really crappy moss. I still have some of it that's dried, you know, that I didn't actually use, thank goodness. But I did notice that when I do use the peroxide, it seemed to help that like fuzzy moldy issue that I had. The other thing with that moss is it didn't smell the best, but I mean, this seems okay now, I hope. So it's actually a mixture of my good moss and the bad moss. See, this is why I didn't clean the table too deeply. It's because I knew that this was going to be a thing. Okay, so what did I do? Here, oh, you're anchored in though. How am I gonna? I really don't want to wreck that leaf. Is that gonna work? Okay. Okay. So now the moss is in. And I should probably fill it to the top because the next aerial roots are going to come out here. And then, okay, we'll just fill it. I just need to leave enough space at the top so I can put in my watering stuff for the pole. All right. Okay. In you go. I think that is good. I do try not to pack it in there too tightly. Should I put one more in there? Should I? You know what? No, we're gonna leave it. I don't wanna overdo that at all. My Squamiferum here actually is going to need an extension soon. But I have to wait for those poles from North Shore Tropicals because they're the medium size and that is what I need. But, whoops. But I can also see here that there is an area, where are we here? Oh, up too high. Okay. So I can see here that there is an aerial root that wants to come out and there's just not enough moss there. So I'll just fill this up for now until my new moss poles come. Okay, so that is that. Push you back over here. Okay, another moss pole I have to deal with is in the other room, so I'm gonna have to go get that one. So this one here, so this is my Monstera siltepecana. So this is another one that I have trailing, and I also have on a pole. Now this I feel like, I don't know, I know it's not, at least it's not completely Coco coir. I can actually even see a little bit of tree fern in there, but it's super light. I really need to water you. But I'm not seeing any roots in the, oh wait, no, I'm wrong. Okay, I am seeing, oh, there's also roots hanging out the bottom a little bit, but they've dried off because it's a little bit too dry. So, oh, there's a root in the moss too. Okay. Okay, I was watering this one diligently at one point, and then I don't know why I stopped doing that, but you can see the leaves on this one too are starting to upsize. Oh, thank God, it's just dust. I thought we had a pest thing going on here. And I treat all the time, like just preventatively. So, okay, let's get some moss in there. So it's actually growing really well too. That newest leaf though does not look like it's going to be very big. Again, I try not to compact it too much, but sometimes it just happens that way. Okay, I have to, let's get you your view. Okay. My biggest fear in doing this is always like breaking the stem. Just trying to, oh no, just trying to do this. It's like I waited too long. Oh no. That was a little scary. Yeah, sometimes I feel like, oh no, I waited too long and I can't get in there and do it. But usually I'm just overreacting, and plants can actually be pretty bendy. And I can do it with as little upset as possible. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have. I feel like, sorry, I was just like thinking, I trapped a stem in here, which actually could have came out this hole. And I don't, okay, we're gonna undo that and just pull this one out. Oh, actually both of those can be pulled out, and then reattach, and we're good. Okay. Okay. Why is there such a big gap down there? Not that it really matters, but okay, so this one is gonna be up there in no time, so I'm just gonna do the same thing that I did with the micans and just continue to fill it up. And then I'll throw this one in the shower to water it because, oh no! Because the whole thing, the whole rest of the moss pole needs to be watered anyway. So, and I can shower off the leaves because they look pretty dusty, making me think that there was a pest problem, but there really wasn't. Okay, can you? There we go. All right. I think we're okay. No, I'll fill it up a little bit more. This is why my plant chores take me so long. But hopefully it won't be as long for you. There. Okay. I think that is it for stuffing moss poles. I'm gonna go throw this one in the shower just for a quick water, and then we're gonna move on to the next task. Here is my Philodendron brantianum. Now, you can see that the leaves were much bigger at the bottom. So this was actually a propagation of the one that I have in a terrarium, which, now that I think about it, has a coco coir base. Now that hasn't stopped the plant from growing, but it has stopped the leaves, I'm thinking, from sizing up. So this one I can see is heavily in coco coir. Heavily. There is and it's been in here for a long time. There is no real root system. I can see one root right here. And that's it. This is also very dry right now. It doesn't hold on to a lot of water, but I just want to cut it up is basically what I want to do. Now I haven't had any trouble with the brantianum growing. As you can see, it grows, but it is just not getting the nutrients that it needs. And I think I would like to attempt, because for a lot of people, this is a really high humidity plant. And I have it growing in ambient humidity, and maybe that is also a reason why it is not sizing up, but I actually do think that it's more to do with the soil medium that it's in as opposed to anything else. So I think really what I'm gonna do, because I don't even think this is attached. This one's not. I'm just gonna pull the pins out. And yeah, I mean, it's not even attached, which is also probably my fault, because I have not been the best with watering this pole in particular. And I found that these little pins, I just got them off Amazon, they rust, and I don't like that. I do not like that. Okay, so, oh, okay, this one actually grew inside the pole and out the other way, so. Okay, that's something to deal with. But yeah, so this entire branch right here was not in the pole at all. Up here, again, we're pinned, and yeah, nothing. So this pole was watered pretty well at some point, because there's rust on the pins. Oh, is this one actually in the soil or in the moss? That one is. I mean, I'm obviously gonna cut you there. So we've taken that. We'll just cut that. Now the thing is do I actually want to keep, this plant? I mean, oh, there was a third vine here that I was, okay. I mean, yes, I would like to see what's going to happen, but I really no longer want it on a pole, so I just ripped that root right off. I'm going to unstrap this, and I'm going to change this medium out. You'll notice that my soil is really kind of chalky looking, and that is because I have been putting diatomaceous earth in my soil mix. Now I know that once you get DE wet, it doesn't work the same way as if it's dry. But when it dries, it will still have that same effect. So for now anyway, just what I'm doing is putting DE in my potting soil that's outside so that I don't have as many little critters running through it too. And when the time comes for me to either run out of potting soil or pot up something bigger, then I will use that. I'll probably use it to pot up bigger plants because there's a lot of soil out there. Now some of it does have coco coir in it as well, but I think that after being outside and it will be dampened and rinsed enough where I don't think that the coco coir is going to be a problem, but I also don't know, so don't take my word for it because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just thinking of ways to alter some of the things that I do, and also to save me from having to buy bags and bags of potting mix all the time. But hopefully, yeah, there's not enough coco coir in it to pose a problem, because my plants that have like some coco coir in it are they're still fine. It's just that I noticed that, you know, not adding coco coir at all made like a huge difference in my root growth. Huge. I can't even believe I might have to do an experiment with that, but okay. So right now that is my Philodendron Brantianum. It's kind of where we're at. Oops. Now for these guys, I don't even think it's going to be worth it for me to keep them, so I'm probably just going to compost these. I've got a brandy in a terrarium right now. I've got this one which I'm still going to try and grow out, and I don't need these. I have so many propagations. I don't need these ones too. So those are going to be composted. Okay, so I think that one of the last things I'm going to do right now in this video, there's still so much to do, and I'm going to continue going on with everything, but I think one of the last things I'm going to do is upsize that Magnificum crossed with an Ace of Spades, because I'm definitely not leaving it there for another day. So I'm going to throw this one in the shower to be watered. I'm running very low on tree fern fiber, and I do have an order coming, but it's not supposed to be here until next week. So any of my other anthurium up pots are going to have to wait. So I definitely, unless they're small ones I can handle. So I have two sizes here. So this is a 5-inch tall and this is a 5-inch round. I do like the tall, and my plants really seem to like the tall. It's so many round ones though, but I am leaning more towards the tall. I've got more of these coming too. All right, so I have got my leca, and I'm just using the Will Grow leca. I do have another bag of it somewhere that I got from Pete as well. I think it's in the tub. I just haven't opened it yet. So as I was saying, the root system is still, oh, that's too much. The root system still kind of isn't there yet. Okay, that's enough. So we're just gonna see how much it's leaning? It's leaning so much. Okay. So I'm just gonna do that. Oh, the tray that I usually have to do this with is outside. So with pots on it that I need to clean. So what I don't want to do is, you can see this root here that's branched off, and I'm going to try really hard not to break that one. Oh, it's not going to work. It's not going to, oh, it worked. Yay! Simple things make me happy. So here's the roots on it, and I'm just going to take a lot of this away, and a lot of this has like tree fern in it as well, so I don't just want to throw away the potting mix because, or like the used potting mix, because tree fern fiber is not cheap. It is not cheap. So that's just, see, there was coco coir in here too, and I mean, if it hindered the anthurium's growth at all, it didn't show it. Oh wow, okay. Okay. Oh, I'm forcing you down, mister. Forcing you down. Because I don't want to take any more leca out of you. I'm gonna have to take all of that off in order to do so, and I am not here for that. But I do want to make sure that I plant it low enough where it's not wobbly anymore. Because wobbling is not good. You can see one of my other anthuriums in the back here. I can't remember which one that is. I'll have to check the label. But it's leaning. It was leaning from when I took it out of the seed packet. So, or a seedling. No, it was a seed. No, it was a seedling. And that was from Northern Plant Room, where I got that from. Oh, this is gonna be, it's gonna be a thing. Okay, I might have to stake this one up temporarily until it anchors itself in. Well, we'll see what happens once I get the soil wet, but I do think that it's probably gonna need a little bit of help. But I do think that I can, I have a couple of aerial roots there. So I just have to hope that they get themselves in there. And I'll water it in with Great White. I'll water the Brantianum in with that too to help the roots. Yeah, okay. So it looks like it's still kind of gonna lean, which is not what I want. I probably should have cut off those two bottom leaves. Would have made more sense to do so. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so for now, this is it. I might continue filming and doing some more plant chores, the ones that I can, but I'm going to end this part of the video now. I hope you are all safe and well. Please like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.